Hi, I'm Sam, and welcome to the GVYC. Today, I'm bringing to you an advanced branded combo guide for the burst protocol format. We have a lot of new tools to play with, so in this combo guide, I'm going to be showing you the maximum value that we can get out of each individual card, some matchup-specific tips and tricks, some good technical play, and of course, good sequencing to play around the right sorts of things. This is going to be a little bit different than regular combo videos where I just go through the steps. I'm going to be explaining to you the reasoning behind each step in the combo, the decisions that we're making, why we're doing certain things, and also how to play out the combo on our opponent's turn, because this deck is a both players' turn sort of deck. So yeah, if you enjoy this sort of content, it'd be really appreciated if you liked and subscribed to our channel. And also, if you have any questions, please feel free to put them down in the comments below. I'll try my best to answer all of them. So yeah, with that said, let's hop into the first combo. The first combo we're going to be going over is the Branded Sword combo. So I've gotten a lot of questions and comments about this combo, so I'm going to be finally showing you guys here today. This combo involves using one Branded Fusion and 4 random other cards in our hand. So what we're going to be able to get out of this one Branded Fusion is we're going to be able to get 5 interruptions on our opponent's turn, along with 5 pushes on our follow-up. So yeah, Branded Sword is a really cool card because it's an alternative to running the Bishop Lubellion and Branded Lost in our decks, and that lets us cut down on 1 brick. So this is a really cool potential combo that you guys can do, and it also doesn't require anything else. We don't need Quem, Aluber, Fallen of White, or any other card to get the maximum value out of this. So yeah, we're going to start with Branded Fusion, sending Fallen of White and Cartesia, and that's going to make our Albion. And Albion is going to use this effect to banish Cartesia and White to get Grand Guignol. Grand Guignol is going to dump the Shroud. So you can also dump Sarnier here, but I'm dumping Shroud just to show you that you don't actually need to play Sarnier in this build at all. So yeah, I'm going to use Shroud effect, dump the Branded Sword to the graveyard, and then Branded Sword is going to banish itself to add the Fallen of White back to hand. Fallen of White's going to trigger here, and we're going to be just specifically dumping the Dragon that it devours. You'll see why later. We're not going to be dumping Titanic Light yet. So yeah, first we're going to be summoning the White Albaz, and that's going to be special summoning the Ecclesia from the deck. Now here we have the Albaz and the Albion on the field. These don't do anything on the field, so we're going to actually contact fuse them away for the Apollonius directly. And while this may seem weird, this actually does serve an important function on our end board. So we're going to go into the end phase, and we're going to add Mercurier off the Dragon that devours. And because we already have Apollonius, this Mercurier is already live. So in a lot of combos that search Mercurier, sometimes you need to wait until you're able to Albaz fuse off your opponent's cards to summon a fusion monster that turns Mercurier on. But in this combo, we start with the Mercurier already active. So yeah, then we're going to use the Albion to set the Fallen and the Virtuous from the deck. So on our opponent's turn, we're going to have 5 interruptions with just this one Branded Fusion and 4 random cards in our hand. So of course we have the Mercurier, that negates 1 card. We have the Fallen and Virtuous, that's going to pop a card. And then we also have the Ecclesia to tag into Albaz, and the Albaz can make a Mirror Jade for us. Now remember, we also have the Grand Guignol, and Grand Guignol here is specifically going to dump the Quem, and Quem is going to dump Cartesia. You'll see the reason why for this later. So the Mirror Jade is going to use its effect, and that's going to be our 4th interruption. And that's going to trigger our Quem to revive the Cartesia back. So you may have noticed that I dumped Rimbrum here. And in a lot of combo guides and a lot of discussion I've heard about Branded and Burst Protocol, a lot of people are not liking Rimbrum and thinking that it's kind of outlived its usefulness. Of course, we have the new Ecclesia Synchro to special summon Albaz from the deck. But actually, I think Rimbrum is still absolutely essential to this combo, and it's really, really good in this deck still. And even when you do have the ability to use the Ecclesia Synchro or just the Incredible Ecclesia to summon Albaz to fuse with your opponent's cards, dumping Rimbrum is still really good. And the reason for that is when we use Cartesia's effect, we can chain the Rimbrum summon the Albaz back, and we can make another Albion, and this Albion is going to banish 2 dragons from our graveyard, so we can make Chaos Star Source. So that's our 5th interruption. So out of 1 Branded Fusion, and we discarded 1 of the 4 random cards we had, we were able to get 5 interruptions out of that. So this is what I mean by maximizing the value out of each individual card. We're really getting the most out of everything. And sometimes when you draw a hand that you just have Branded Fusion as your only play, something like Branded Sword is something you can consider playing, because it does let you get this incredibly powerful end board and 5 interruptions out of just that 1 Branded Fusion and nothing else. Now, say miraculously our opponent still somehow outs our entire board. Maybe they get rid of our entire board somehow, even through the 5 interruptions. And remember, we still have these 3 cards in hand. These could be anything. These could be hand traps, because I do think hand traps are pretty good in Branded right now. But even if they do out the entire board, Mirror J will wipe their board in the end phase. But we get the Cartesia back. We get Ecclesia back. We get the Ablanitas to search a Branded Fusion. We get Albion to search a Fallen Virtuous. You could also search Branded in red here. And then on our turn, we dumped the Incredible Ecclesia off of our Fallen Virtuous on the opponent's turn. So that's going to be our first push. We can shuffle back one of our Albion that we banished for the Chaos Star Source, and we can force one of their cards out. And we, at the minimum, have 7 cards in our hand now. So we have 7 cards. We forced out one of their interruptions with that Ecclesia. We have Incredible Ecclesia, Cartesia, Fallen Virtuous, and Branded Fusion. So with this, we have 5 pushes into our opponent's board after they out the entire board and play through 5 interruptions off of our 1 Branded Fusion. So yeah, this is a great example of why Branded Sword is such an incredible card in the Burst Protocol format, because you can get all of this off of 1 Branded Fusion and absolutely nothing else. Play I'm going to show you is how to use Branded Opening properly, and also how to play against decks like Yummy or Vanquish Soul Canine, where they're very weak to removal but not very weak to negation. So this combo requires you having Fallen of White Dragon or any way to access it, Branded Opening, and then any light or dark monster that you can fuse off, which the entire deck is full of. So yeah, first we're going to use Fallen of the White Dragon to special summon itself, dumping Albion, and that's going to summon our Ecclesia from the deck. Then we're going to synchro into our Ecclesia synchro, and that's going to summon Cartesia from our deck. So Cartesia is then going to fuse off itself and Valor, and that's going to summon the Grand Guignol. Grand Guignol is going to dump Titanic Clad. Now from here, we can move on to the end phase. And you may be thinking, well, why would we not use Branded Opening here in the main phase? Well, the beauty of Branded Opening is that in a format where there's a lot of turn 0 plays like Fimena and Hollysu, saving the Branded Opening until the end phase allows you to play around a lot of those, because we can pivot into whatever beats those turn 0 plays by saving the Branded Opening in our hand. So we're going to go to the end phase, and during the end phase, we're going to use the Titanic Clad, and that's going to summon our Quem, and Quem is going to dump the High Spirits here. So we're going to use our Albion next and set the Fallen and the Virtuous. Remember, we're thinking about this combo in terms of what beats decks that are weak to removal, like Yummy and VSK9. So we're going to set the Fallen and the Virtuous. Then we're going to add the Ecclesia, the Cartesia, and also the High Spirits. So we're going to have 3 cards back into our hand. Now we're going to activate the Branded Opening, discarding the Cartesia specifically, and that's going to summon our Luber from the deck, and a Luber is going to grab a Branded in red. So this Branded in red, it's going to go off in the end phase. We're going to activate it immediately, targeting the Fallen in white. And so here we're going to go into Lebellion. And Lebellion is going to pitch the Branded High Spirits. We're going to keep the Ecclesia in hand for now. The reason we're going to keep the Ecclesia in hand for now is if our opponent summons their own Dragon that Devours the Dogma, we're not going to make it immune to anything by having an Ecclesia in our graveyard, because even your opponent having an Ecclesia on their graveyard will make your Devour Dragon immune. So yeah, we're gonna go chain link 2, Quem, bring back the Cartesia, and we're gonna summon Mirror Jade. So in the situation where your opponent had 5 mana or Holly Sue or any turn 0 play, you could pivot into something like Chaos Star Source to pop their 2 back row that they set off of the 5 mana, or you could summon Mirror Jade instead. It depends on the situation, but keeping the Branded Opening in your hand until the end phase gives you the option of playing around whatever you need to. So that's why we do that in the end phase. So yeah, here we're going to get our Ecclesia Synchro back and pass back to our opponent. So right now we have a lot of interruptions. So we have the first Mirror Jade banish, and again we're going to dump Rinbrim because Rinbrim is still an essential card in this deck. We're going to banish something, and then we're going to use Fallen Virtuous. That's going to pop something, and we can also use the Ecclesia Synchro to summon Albaz from the deck. That's going to discard our Ecclesia finally, and now we're going to summon whatever off of our opponent's board. So if they allow you to summon the Dragon that Devours the Dogma by playing into it, we're going to be able to fuse away 2 of their cards and then shuffle back 2. Yeah, and we still have the Cartesia effect. So Cartesia, like last time, we're going to chain the Rinbrum to the Cartesia, and this time what we're going to do is we're going to summon back Albaz and fuse away Mirror Jade in Albaz to get Lubellion the Searing Dragon, and Lubellion's going to trigger, shuffling back the Albion that was used last turn, so we keep the one that we sent this turn, into Chaos Star Source, and Chaos Star Source and Quem. So technically Quem should be chain link 1, and Chaos Star Source should be chain link 2. That's going to pop 2 cards, and then Quem is going to revive the Mirror Jade. They probably would have used Bell by now if they had it, but you know, just a good practice to get into. And then Mirror Jade still has its banish effect. So in this sequence, we banished twice with Mirror Jade. So we banished 2 monsters with Mirror Jade. We popped 1 monster with the Fallen and Virtuous. We popped 2 cards with the Chaos Star Source Dragon, and then we fused away 1 or 2 monsters with Albaz. So we removed 6 or 7 of our opponent's monsters. So about 6-7 of them, there's no way that Yummy or Vanquish Soul Canine is going to be able to play through 6 or 7 removals against their board. And we still have 1 random card left in our hand that could be a hand trap. So in terms of card economy, we still get to keep whatever hand trap, like a Veiler or Ash or Imperm, that we drew, alongside to supplement this entire combo. So yeah, this is how you would sequence your combo line to specifically beat any deck that loses removal. So, I mean, Yummy and Canine are the biggest examples, but stuff like Cool Tunes, it also falls into that category. Even something like Orchist, where they have quite a decent amount of extenders, but if you banish their normal summon, you banish their Link monster, then it's very hard for them to continue extending. So this would remove 6 or 7 of your opponent's monsters. The next combo that I'm going to show you guys is how to beat decks that lose more to negation as opposed to removal. Examples would be Dracotail and, of course, the Mirror. So some decks don't really care about removal, especially fusion decks, so I'm going to show you what lines to play when you're facing a matchup like that. So in this combo, we're going to be using Fallen of the White Dragon, Aluber, and any light or dark monster that you can fuse off with Cartesia. So in the other example that I used Branded Opening instead of Aluber. In all honesty, you can use Aluber or Branded Opening. They're very similar and they basically end on the same thing, but I'm going to use just one example of each so that you can kind of see what it looks like. So yeah, we're going to use Fallen of the White Dragon, dumping Albion as usual, and use this effect, summon Ecclesia, summon the Ecclesia Synchro, and then use the Ecclesia Synchro to summon out Cartesia. Next, we're going to normal summon the Aluber. This is going to be under the Cartesia protection, so we're going to grab the Branded right here, and then we're going to use the Cartesia, fusing off with the lighter dark, and that's going to grab us our Grand Guignol. So we're not going to fuse off the Aluber yet. Grand Guignol this time is going to dump Dragon that Devours the Dogma as opposed to Titanic Clad like we did in our last line, and you'll see the reason why later. We're going to go to end phase, add back all of our end phase effects, so Ecclesia and Cartesia come back to hand, They're going to resolve our fusions, so we're going to add Mercurier here, and then we're going to use Albion to set a Branded Retribution. So this card is really, really useful, and I would recommend setting this card often because the ability for this card to negate any effect that would special summon by shuffling back 2 of our monsters in the grave, and we already have 2 fusions in the grave set up for this already. So this can allow you to interact with stuff like Rahu and Kitu and Branded Fusion, things that you normally aren't able to interact with. So yeah. Next we're going to use the Branded in red, add back the Fallen of the White Dragon, and just like last time, we can make the Lubellion, and Lubellion can discard Cartesia, and we will make the Mirror Jade. And like I mentioned earlier, if your opponent does do the end phase 5 mana effect on you, you can make Chaos Star Source instead to pop 2 of their back row that they set. So you can cut them off of their follow-up, and sometimes they won't be able to add stuff back, so they won't have that many pushes on their next turn if you do that. So yeah, we also get our Ecclesia Synchro back, don't forget about that. So yeah, on to our opponent's turn. We have the Mercurier negate, so this can interact with something like a 5 mana, or Lucius, or Malulu, and then we also have the Branded Retribution, so this can negate any of their spell cards. So this decreases the amount of other extenders that they could possibly have to keep pushing through your board if you negate their stuff like 5 mana and Rahu. So yeah, Branded Retribution is going to come back, but alongside those negations, we still have a bunch of other interruptions. So we do have Mirror Jade, and Mirror Jade is going to dump Rinbrum as normal. And then we're going to use Grand Guignol whenever they special summon a monster, and we're going to summon Quem. Now, Quem here, we're going to get it here instead of off Titaniclad. And unlike the last combo, in this one, we'll use Quem to dump Albaz. So this is an important interaction to remember. We have the Rinbrum and the Albaz in grave, which may seem redundant with the Ecclesia and the Dark Red. However, if we activate the Rinbrum effect and they have a Bell to negate this, or they have a Called By or a Bestial on the Fallen of Albaz, we still have the Ecclesia and the Dark Dragon to chain to that. So we're playing around Bell, Called By, and Bestials by having the Rinbrum. So even if it seems redundant, dumping the Rinbrum off of the Mirror Jade still allows you to play around a lot of non-engine that your opponent can have. However, if they don't have Call By, Bell, or a Bestial, what we're going to do is we're going to chain the Dark Dragon to the effect of Rinbrum. And you'll see why in a moment. This sequencing is important, because this is going to summon our Cartesia from our deck, and now we're going to special summon the Albaz. Now, Albaz is going to use this effect to fuse with their board. However, if they had a Fallen and Virtuous to pop this Fallen of Albaz, we would be out of luck. Since we have the Cartesia, though, we can actually chain Cartesia to their Fallen and Virtuous pop and fuse off these two to make Albion to make something else as an interruption. So what we played around is we played around them drawing a Bell, a Called By, or a Bestial, and also Fallen of Virtuous. So there's 4 non-engine cards that we just played around by sequencing things in this way. So yeah, I'm just going to make a random fusion off of Albaz. It could be anything, it could be Secretarian, it could be whatever is suitable in the situation. But yeah, we still have the Cartesia effect though, so we're going to use Cartesia and the Mirror Jade to summon the Grand Guignol, and Quem's going to activate, Grand Guignol is going to activate, we're going to dump, and then we're going to revive the Mirror Jade. And so Mirror Jade is also going to get another banish. So we got 2 Mirror Jade banishes, an Albaz fuse, a Mercurier negate, and a Retribution negate. And we played around Bell, Called By, Bestials, and Fallen and Virtuous in the process of doing so. So yeah, provided you survive during your end phase, you're going to get the Cartesia Synchro back, you're going to get Ecclesia back, you're going to get Cartesia back, you're going to be able to search a Fallen and Virtuous and a Branded Fusion. So this is a really high number of pushes. Basically, if it gets back to your turn, you're always going to be able to survive and probably win the game that turn. remember, we still have 2 random cards that we didn't use, and we also have our top deck for turn to continue pushing through our board. So yeah, this is how you would play against decks like Dragotail or the Mirror that lose negation instead of removal, while playing around many different types of non-engine. So yeah, that's the video, guys. 3 advanced combos for you guys with good sequencing to play around stuff. Hopefully I could kind of illustrate why Rinbrum is still a really important card, and also why things like Branded Opening and Aluber should definitely still be played at 3, because having them and saving something like Opening or Branded in Red for the end phase allows you to play around a lot of your opponent's best pushes. So yeah, if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know if you have any questions down in the comments below. I might be making more of these, maybe to, how to play around Retaliating Sea, combos where you have both Fallen White Dragon and Branded Fusion, how to best sequence those. But yeah, let me know if you have any other questions, and thanks for watching.